All right, well, welcome to Would You Like Fries with That Tech? Today we have our guest with us, Ty Hoover. How you doing today, Ty?
I'm good, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing well. Ty, you're with a pretty different company than we've talked about before. It's a little gassy over there, I hear. So tell us where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm with New CO2. Um, Basically, what we do is we work primarily with the restaurant industry. We provide CO2 and nitrogen solutions to any bar, restaurant, event center, golf course, country club, anyone that has a pop gun or a tap system is someone that we can work with. Obviously, every situation's a little bit different and what the needs are, and that's kind of where I come in, help consult with the potential customer, provide the best solution, and get them set up so it's something they don't have to worry about.
So does your company offer like end-to-end install? So from the tanks that, either sit inside or outside to putting the piping in a restaurant as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have obviously dedicated technicians. My role is go out, meet with the customer, get them signed up for what they need, take a site survey, communicate with the techs, and the tech then will come out, kind of go over the game plan with the customer and run the hoses, run the lines, get everything set up. Great partnerships with Coke, Pepsi, beer beer lines, beer tech, stuff to that extent, because we all have to work together to get our systems up and running. But yeah, from start to finish, extremely hands off for the user.
What's like the most common challenge you see when it comes to uh, restaurants and getting this set up?
In the sense of like, how is my solution better?
I just say
Or
like if I'm having challenges, like what are the common challenges a restaurant owner faces in this space, um, especially when it comes to CO2?
yeah, absolutely. So most of our competitors out there operate off either 20-pound or 50-pound cylinders. And what that leads to is the end user having to swap out the tanks or running out of CO2 and not having a backup and being not able to utilize their draft system or their pop gun for whatever amount of time it is until they can get another tank. Where we differ is the smallest tank we provide is a 300-pound tank. And then you have a driver that comes out on a set cadence and fills up the tank for you. So we operate on a 99.9% uptime. So you don't have to call, you don't have to worry about running out. We got you on the schedule. You got 300 pounds minimum, and we're coming out to fill up the tank. So the biggest complaints I hear when I'm working with a restaurant owner is, oh, yeah, we ran out and couldn't get another tank for 2 days.
Wow, that's not cool.
No, and it just, I mean, draft beer and pop are some of the biggest profitable items for a business owner. So to be down those items can
Yeah,
really, really cut into profit margins and, the top line.
yeah. What are some trends or innovations out there that restaurant owners should be aware of?
One thing we're working on is a telemetry system, to where when the tank gets to a certain level of CO2, it alerts our company so a driver goes out. Right now, we just have them on a frequency based on trends. I think this will be pretty, not innovative, but pretty good for the business owner, kind of fixing issues before they even realize it's a problem. All of a sudden, maybe there's an unexpected leak, whether it's our system or the bag in the box system or the draft system, and all of a sudden that tank goes from 400 pounds to 50 pounds. we're going to be made aware of that. So that's in the works. I think that's going to be a huge addition to what we have to offer.
Yeah, because kind of at the way the industry seems like in your side of it is, if they had a big event, they would need to reach out to you in between and kind of monitor it themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
most of the time, they have so much on hand that we're not running into issues. But, Oktoberfest is right around the corner. Those are some of the biggest weekends for, bars in the German space. So they could go through 3, 4 times what they normally do.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's communication between the customer and our company to say, hey, we're probably going to need a fill after this weekend's over.
Yeah. Can you share any stories with us about how you've made an impact on a restaurant and got them to a more successful place with your services?
Yeah, I was working. It was a Fraternal Order of Eagles. So similar, to your Elks Clubs, American Legion, stuff to that
Right.
extent. And actually, it was an American Legion. Stand corrected, American Legion. But same concept across those. Um, he reached out and he had the 50-pound cylinders, and the company was hauling the empties upstairs. Everything was housed in the basement. So they were hauling the empties upstairs and then carrying down the full cylinders and swapping them out. They stopped doing that. So now it was on the staff to bring up the empties and carry down the full tanks.
Ew.
We're talking 50 pounds of gas on top of the tank. Um, Not light.
Yeah.
So that was his main reason for reaching out. And when we talked about the large tank, it's stationary. We bring our truck out. If it's outside, we'll fill directly to the tank. If it's inside, we'll fill to a fill box. So no one has to be on site for us to do what we need to do. It was a no-brainer for him. He was so tired of carrying tanks up and down the stairs that solution really hit home with him and made his life a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's huge. There's the safety piece of that, the risk of hurting the employees, just from
Yeah.
lifting and things like that. And then, oh shoot, we forgot to refill it. Now we're busy. Guess what I have to run out and do right now in the middle
Yep.
of peak time? That makes a huge difference.
You
Um,
never run out Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You always run out Friday at 7:30. It's crazy
Absolutely.
how it works. Crazy how it works.
It's like a law.
Yep. You're only gonna run out if you're busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any advice for like restaurant owners or managers to help improve efficiency?
Talk to anybody you can. I mean, talk to other business owners, join Facebook groups, join network groups, talk to as many vendors as you can. In our realm of what we do, when we see a new business going up, you're getting a lot of business cards and a lot of people knocking on the door. Not many people like to talk to sales reps, but hear them out, see what they have to say. I've given suggestions to people that didn't do business with me that ultimately benefited their business in the long run from a different perspective. This is what we do all day in and day out is go talk to restaurant owners and people in your same shoes. Hear what we have to say. And, if our product's not the best fit, look, Nate, we get told no more than we get told yes, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to be upset about it. You're not going to hurt our feelings. I'm going to ask you why. Hey, why did you decide to go another avenue other than my company? But we're going to appreciate the opportunity to sit down and you know give you our pitch, and maybe you'll learn something from that. Especially first time restaurant owners, people that have done this 3, 4, 5 times, they're pretty good at it by now, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
first time restaurant owners, talk to anybody that walks in the door, at least hear what they have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. How do you see like talking to the new restaurant owners or maybe a new generation taking over? How do you see the future of dining and hospitality evolving?
I think it's going to be quality, obviously, which it always has been, um, and customer service. I think the better customer experience you're going to create is going to help your business thrive. I've been seeing, and I'm sure you have too, the videos circulating social media of robots bringing out the food and all that. Like that to me is not a dining experience. You
Yeah.
know, I like having a server or a bartender that isn't over the top, but does a great job, makes you laugh, communicates with you, handles any needs or concerns you have. That to me is what the dining experience is. So when I'm seeing these robots coming from somebody that worked in the restaurant industry for almost 10 years as a server bartender, I'm like, oh boy, I hope this isn't where we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, it does definitely take the personal touch out of it. Uh, and hopefully it doesn't ruin the dining experience, but more or less can be a tool rather than just like take away from the experience and stuff.
Yeah,
What would what would you say in your experience? I mean, you worked in the restaurant world, and what would you say are some? You still work in there, but you actually worked inside of a restaurant at one
correct.
point. What are some key consideration restaurants owners should keep in mind when choosing service providers?
As much as I would love to say, just go with me, don't talk to anybody else. Um, find a few different vendors in the same space and research them. You know, the biggest headaches you're going to have are frustrated customers, right?
Right.
And vendor issues. So, you know, I was at a restaurant the other day and the gentleman was looking at a POS provider and he was talking about how he went down to Florida and every restaurant he went in, he asked them who their POS provider was and how they liked it. So not just online research, but talking to the staff at other restaurants. Hey, how do you like this system? What drives you crazy about it? Just doing your research, because if you have vendors in place that you don't even realize that process is happening, that's the best program you can have. When things are just being done and you don't have to think about it, that's great.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about your towels being delivered or your lines being cleaned or your gas being delivered or whatever it is. But when you have a vendor that might have come in 5, 10 cents cheaper per item, but you're spending 2 hours a week calling the 1-800 number about an invoice issue or a complaint or a concern, or your driver didn't drop off what you needed and now you have to take your towels to the laundromat and you're spending this. That's frustrating, and that's not what business is supposed to be like. The owner's job is to run the restaurant. It's not to worry about the behind the scenes things. That's why they signed up with company ABC, XYZ, whatever it is so that they can handle it. So I would say do your research on your vendors.
Hmm. I think that's something we've heard from other guests on the podcast as well. Um, Definitely take some time, do some research, and try not to make too knee-jerk of decisions. So definitely great advice. Tell us a little bit
Unless
about
I'm
you.
there. Unless I'm there, then make
Oh,
a
unless
knee jerk
Ty's there.
decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, make a knee jerk decision, sign up with me right there, and we'll call it a day.
absolutely. Well, it's the best decision I'm sure they'll make,
No
or
doubt.
the easiest decision too. So, but tell us a little bit more about you, Ty. Uh, what's your favorite, like your go-to fast food meal? And you don't have to mention anything specific like vendor, but what's your go-to fast food meal?
It's a specialized box that usually consists of a cheesy gordita crunch,
Oh,
beefy 5-layer burrito, and a Baja Blast. I'm not
Okay.
proud of that. I'm not proud of that. But man, if I'm gonna cheat, have a cheat day and eat a meal that's not good for me,
Right. Right.
that's what I'm going for.
Okay. What's your favorite then like fine dining meal?
I'm a surf and turf kind of guy.
Okay.
Give me a nice, actually, it's funny you bring that up. My wife and I are celebrating our anniversary this
Happy
weekend.
anniversary.
Thank you. 5 years.
Sweet.
Um, we're going up to Cleveland. We tried to get into a very, I guess, it seems to be exclusive because I tried 3 months ago to make a reservation and we've been on the wait list. So we're going to their sister restaurant. Excited about that. Looked at the menu a little bit. I'm a big surf and turf though. Throw me a fillet and a lobster tail, and we're in business.
Bay scallops or no?
Yeah, I'll be base scallops.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Mussels
I
as an
personally,
appetizer.
yeah, scallops is one of my favorite things. Now, I don't typically order them unless I'm on the coast, but that's just me.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
uh,
Well, there's nothing like Lake Erie lobster.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've had it many times. I tell you what, Lake Superior lobster is better though.
Ah, man.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. One last question. Favorite drink at a restaurant to order? Doesn't have to be alcohol, but what's your favorite drink?
Are we out at, Sunday watching the Browns game, or are we sitting down having a pre-drink dinner? What give me some context. Where are we at?
Well, if it's a Browns game, I think you need the like hardest thing you can get to get through that situation.
Yeah, heard that.
What's your preferred what do you prefer? Like a pre-drink before dinner?
Yeah, I like a good like old fashioned.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially I don't know if you've had any of like the where they kind of smoke the glass with some
Yeah.
wood before like I like a good old fashioned. And then with your surf and turf, get a good glass of red wine, and
Right.
then I kind of created my own little cocktail. So if anyone else says that this exists, I'm claiming it.
Okay.
Screwball whiskey. All right, so the peanut butter whiskey,
Got it.
Godiva dark chocolate, and a little splash of heavy cream.
All
That's a nice
right.
dessert drink.
What do we
Little
call
like
that?
icing cup.
We call that the
Well,
Thai special?
we got it. We did get it named on a POS system at a local restaurant, the Hoover.
The Hoover. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
I
you
don't know if
heard
it
it
still
here.
stands. It's been a while since we've been there, but
So
it's a good dessert drink.
like a chocolate peanut butter drink
Yep.
called the Hoover. Okay. Next time I see you in person, Ty, we're gonna figure that out somewhere. We'll have somebody make it
I'm
for
gonna
us.
start carrying around a little 1.5 ounce screwball, 1.5 ounce Godiva, so we can make it
Yeah,
happen.
absolutely. That sounds amazing. Hey, tell people how they can get in touch with you, Ty. We appreciate you spending some time. Would you like fries with that tech podcast today?
Yeah, absolutely. Best way to get a hold of me is either email, cell phone. I'm pretty accessible 99% of the time. Cell phone's going to be 772-763-0723. I am aware that that is a Florida area code. I do not live in Florida. That is just my work phone and where our headquarters is. Email is just ty.hoover, Hoover, at new CO2. So it's spelled nuco2.com. Even if, what I tell people all the time, if you want to do a cost analysis, CO2 is not something that people think about very often. It kind of sits on the back burner because you've done it the same way for 20 years. Maybe you don't realize what you're dealing with is a problem, an issue, or just causing you a headache to where we might be able to prevent that headache at a cost savings or close cost to what you're currently paying.
Wonderful. Well, if you're thinking about carbonation, Ty's got all the carbonation data that you probably need over there at New CO2. Thanks for joining us today, Ty. Thanks for some of the advice that you gave to us. So,
Yeah. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it.
looking forward to having a Hoover sometime soon.
One of these days.